I had a date with a girl a week or so ago. Chatting was like pulling teeth, like I would get 1 to 2 texts once every 2 to 3 days. So all I found out was, what she did for work, that she had friends she likes to stay home when tired and her last watched Netflix show. So we go on the date and she basically said, "Look, you're not someone I'm attracted to, do you mind me telling you why?" I was like, fuck it, let's see where I went wrong. First date in the last 1.5 years, so I might be rusty. According to her, I was not confident enough, like not bragging about my job, and focused on those 3 things, because I didn't know anything else about her, and felt that I was afraid of her earning more than me. When school ends, we'll be making roughly the same, I might even make more. Then she asked if I'd ever been in a relationship. Joke was on her, I was in multiple. I asked her the same thing and she said there were only flings and the guys always leave because they couldn't handle her working schedule. So I asked if I should leave a review and she said sure, so I told her that I wasn't going to flaunt what I do for a living because I don't like bragging or puffing out my chest. I'm confident in the way that I am, but I don't want to show it off or show my inner self until I know you better. I didn't know squat about her because she was very closed off. Don't assume that someone would be intimidated about their partner earning more. Lady, you literally don't know how much my take-home salary was. Don't assume that guys always want to go out. I actually prefer staying in. Actually, I gave her examples of what I did for my exes that basically showed that I wasn't like the guys she was attracted to who left after not being able to handle her schedule. She kind of went silent and thanked me for my feedback, and she would consider what I said. Edit. One more nugget of fun. She jokingly asked if that was the worst first date I've ever had, and I joked that it wasn't, when in fact, it very much was. Story 2. I, 23F, have been with my BF, 26M, for about 4 years. I met him through my sister, 27F, who's been his best friend since freshman year. She's a lesbian, and getting married to her girlfriend in October. Me and her have always been close, the usual sibling stuff. Sometimes we fought but always resolved it because she's my best friend. Our parents have always been supportive of both of us, and when she came out our parents basically said, "Oh yeah, we know. When can we meet her?" I've always had some issues with guys getting close to me for my sister, because she is the prettier and more outgoing between us, but she's always helped me build up my confidence. And made jokes about me becoming lesbian to avoid the awkward guys. My boyfriend always flattered me, told me how I'm his one and only, how he can't wait to start a family with me, all that stuff. He was my first kiss, the one I lost my virginity to, all the cliché Hallmark movie stuff. Well, last night, after we had finished having sex, he randomly said, "You know, sometimes I pretend when we're f***ing that I'm with your sister." He saw the way I looked at him, I guess, and immediately backpedaled, saying, "A few years ago, not anymore." I don't know why I said that I'm sorry, and kept apologizing and trying to make what he said less bad, I guess. I asked him straight up if he was cheating on me with my sister, and he denied it, saying that he was just high off the sex and didn't know why he said that because it wasn't true. I'm currently at my sister and her girlfriend's apartment, sobbing my eyes out because I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I had finally found a guy who liked me, not my sister, but I was wrong. I feel like I've thrown out years of my life for him, for absolutely nothing. He's been blowing up my phone, and at first it was, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it, come back babe," but now he's saying stuff like, "I knew you were the crazy one, you can't take a joke." I feel like I don't even know my boyfriend anymore. Update. Well, I met up with my boyfriend at our apartment a day after my first post, along with my sister and her GF, who I'll be calling Mel. He immediately asked why we were having an intervention and interrupting his game night. I asked him to turn the computer off and come to the living room, and then minutes later he did, after finishing a Fortnite match. I asked him if what he said he actually meant, and he asked my sister and her GF to leave, so they went into the kitchen. He said he didn't mean it, and he already forgot it happened, even though I haven't been home in 4 days. I told him to pack his shit and leave, and he refused, and got up to do who knows what. My sister and Mel came in, and told him to go. He again refused, saying it was his house. I asked where his name was on the rent, and he said it didn't matter because he lived there. So, I took the initiative, for once in my life, yay me, and went into our room, pulled out a duffel bag and started packing for him. My ex started following me, getting panicked and saying he would pack but to just leave the room so he could. Well, I didn't trust him with my stuff as I have a lot of antique jewelry and stuff. I'm a thrifty gal, what can I say, which I definitely didn't want him to take. In the bottom of the duffel bag was several condom wrappers and unopened ones. No, we never put our condom trash into a duffel bag after sex. No, didn't loan it to a friend. Whatever could have happened? You may be wondering, grasping your phone in anticipation. The answer? He's a cheating POS. He saw I found it and claimed he was sleeping with my sister, my lesbian sister. That sister. Mel, me, and my sister told him to cut the BS and he had 5 minutes to pack before we called the cops. And my sister, the lesbian, said if anything was missing, we would file a report. After he left to who knows where, me and the girls had a cry fest, okay, just me, and my sister kept telling me she would never sleep with anyone I was with, male or not, which I obviously believe. He's been blowing up my phone, my sister's phone, Mel's phone, I don't know how he got it. With him saying he's homeless and he wants me back, or wants my sister, and calling Mel some awful names. He's been blocked, and hopefully out of our lives for good. Thank you guys for giving me the support and strength to leave him, it means a lot that strangers I never have met would care. Stay safe everyone. Story 3. My 22M girlfriend, 24F, received flowers from her ex on her birthday and will not get rid of them. What should I do about this? Hey all, the last few days have been rough on my relationship, so I was looking for some neutral opinions on the situation. The situation goes as follows. I, 22M, was on the phone with my girlfriend, 24F, the evening before her birthday. At around 12:30 a.m. on the morning of her birthday, she received flowers, not from me. I was specifically told by her to not get her flowers on her birthday, after which she brought them in, asked if I was still on the phone, then said she was going to bed. When I asked who they were from, she said she hadn't read the card yet. Later that day, when we were talking, I brought up how this made me uncomfortable. She went into how I do not trust her and how that is not okay. When the question of if she kept the flowers came up, she mentioned she did and has them in a vase, and will absolutely not be getting rid of them. What should I do about this? Edit for clarity, I did not ask her to throw them out. Her reply was in response to me asking if she kept them. The ex did deliver them. Ex and her have had some contact, but I am only told about work-related things. Edit 2, for clarity, to my understanding, the ex dropped them off but he was not present when she opened the door and saw them. Her justification for not knowing who they were from was that the note was signed with the initials of a name he used to be called. After bringing it up, she ended the conversation with something to the extent of I want tomorrow to be about me, so if you can't do that, let's wait to talk until the weekend. Ultimately I decided to put it on hold and let her birthday pass and then deal with it. I sent her a very lengthy and sweet birthday message, 5 to 6 lines on IMSC, to which I received a simple thank you. After she replied, I gave her a call offering to grab her something from her favorite breakfast spot, and I was told she didn't want it and that she was going to go back to sleep. After this, I felt like she did not want to interact with me that day, so I did not push any further. Later she texted me, quite upset that I had not made any effort for her that day. Later that night we had a FaceTime, and I wanted to listen to why she felt the way she did, apologize for the way things turned out, and attempt to explain why I did what I did. Today I received a lengthy chain of texts saying how she was talking to her sister and she thinks I am trying to manipulate her. And basically explain how she felt like I tried to blame her for the way things turned out. I don't want this to be the case. I don't want it to feel like I'm blaming her for anything when I try to talk about why I felt the way I did. I've apologized and acknowledged that I misinterpreted her desires. Even aside from the flower thing, what are some ways to talk to people about your feelings without making it seem like you're blaming them? I also tried to take her out in the evening, which she did not want to do, and rather decided to have a discussion about things, which is why the flowers got brought back up. Edit 3, we are going to have a talk tomorrow. We'll update after. Thank you, everyone, for the replies, they have been very helpful. Comment 1. Who delivers flowers at 12:30 a.m.? Ex-boyfriends, that's who. Comment 2. That was the one part of this tale that seemed quite suspicious to me, but the OP isn't the least bit concerned about that. OP, I did get her gifts. When I tried to plan things in advance, she told me let's do something after because she was going to be busy with work and have dinner with her parents. I still made multiple attempts to do things with her on the day. I hope this provides additional context. Comment 3. Hang on, did she volunteer those words about keeping them on her own without you mentioning anything about them other than who they were from? Before or after you asked? There's not much context to go on. OP, sorry, I should have been more clear. I had to work a bit to get who it was from out. A bit later I asked if she kept them, to which she said she would absolutely not get rid of them. Update, 1 day later. Update, we have had our talk, and I ended things. I approached the breakup from the perspective of not being compatible with our methods of communication. I wanted to keep it as civil as possible as we are part of some small circles in terms of career and friends, so I'd like to maintain a solid perception. At some points, she tried to take it in the direction of an argument. However, I just made it very clear I was not here to argue or work anything out and that I felt like we would not be able to handle disagreements well in the future, so it was best to call things off. I appreciate all the comments and replies. I felt the way many of you had iterated, manipulated, gaslit, emotionally invalidated, etc., but I tried my best to not bias the updates with those emotions to try to get as neutral of opinions as possible. Honestly, right now I just feel relieved, which I think is very telling. Additional update: I did not include this in the original post because I was so emotionally drained at that point and did not feel like typing it out again, had told other close friends over text, but I think the thing that really sealed it beyond belief was how she responded to my last attempt to try and make things better. On the day she spoke to her sister, I responded to the manipulation text with something to the extent of "I see you and I hear what you are saying, I had no intention of making you feel that way and I'm sorry that I did." To which she responded that she was sorry, that I did, too, and that she was going to go nap. Later that day I texted to ask if she was free and after 3 hours I basically got a no, but I could drop some stuff off. At this point, I had been running out while she was not responding and gathering all of her favorite foods and treats along with writing a card. After I gave it to her I went back and was texted things along these lines. "If you want the pastries please take them back, I'm so confused, was this supposed to make anything better, you hardly looked at me." At this point, I was pretty much done and replied with something like, "I know I'm not perfect but I'm not going to be told I'm not trying when I am, and when I try to do something I can't have it where only the things I did wrong are acknowledged." At this point, she finally made some attempt to be understanding, saying thank you for the gifts and that she didn't say I wasn't trying. To me it seemed like I only got that response because it seemed like I was finally done. In any case, it is over now, and time to move on. I don't think she physically cheated as many in the comments do, however, at this point, I do not care. All I hope is that I better know what to look for next time and find someone that works better for me personally. Thank you to everyone for the advice and for listening to me and my problems. I hope everyone here has a wonderful day. Final comment. Based on the title alone, I was iffy, but after getting about halfway through your post, I felt like you should call this whole thing off, and I'm glad you ended up doing just that. Good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.